I'm often guilty of assuming that everybody that watches these videos is in some way, shape or form involved in social media. You have an account, you follow it, this, that and the other. But every so often I'll read the comments underneath the video, and it's quite clear, quite evident that not everybody does get their news from social media. In fact, some people, believe it or not, only watch sort of YouTube videos, Hammer Chat videos, whatever. And that's how you find out your West Ham news. And we don't really do breaking news. So I often speak about things that are 2 or 3 days old, and I assume you know. So this is really sort of pertinent to the Jese Lingard and Declan Rice things. If you don't know, Lingard's back in training with Man United. He's having talks with Solskjaer. He's going to stay, he's going to leave, he's going to stay, he's going to leave. We're in a bit of limbo, I think, which is hence the reason for my video the other day about exactly that. Declan Rice is on holiday, so on social media there are pictures of him on holiday, here, there and everywhere, having a jolly nice time, and why not? And there seems to be a sort of stagnation in terms of the Declan Rice news, or what's actually going to happen with him, and certainly whether Declan Rice, whether Jese Lingard's coming, going, staying, whatever the case may be. He played in the friendly against Derby the other day that Manchester United had. Solskjaer's spoken about him openly, says he wants to stay, but there's rumours that Man United can't afford him. We don't know. And anyway, I had a little thought about it, and I thought, well, it's sort of dragging, not because of the transfer windows getting away from us, which I think it is, but it's not like loads of other clubs have done much business. But bearing in mind, it's something a regular watcher and a patron of ours, Andy Walsh, said a little while ago. You'd have thought, bearing in mind that Jese Lingard was with us last season, that we would know whether he wanted to join us or not. And he's absolutely right. Surely we would have had a little word with him at the time. Jesse, do you want to stay, or is it just a one-season thing? Are you going back to Man U? Surely a conversation would have happened. I mean, technically, is it really tapping up if you're doing that, if he's at the club anyway? He's got a year left on his contract. It would seem the natural thing to do. So we don't know, because we're not flies on the wall and these are private conversations. We have to read between the lines. So I would assume the fact that we're still pursuing him, he would have given an indication at some time to David Moyes that actually, yeah, I would quite fancy it, or my options are open. He wouldn't have completely dismissed it and said, no, I'm definitely going back to Man United. But Andy was right. We should know more definitively than we do. And it sort of got me thinking a little bit, because we're in limbo with Declan Rice as well. I just wonder whether there's been a conversation between Jese Lingard and Declan Rice. Again, we don't know. Why should we? It's I guess in terms of a private conversation between them, it's none of our business. As fans, it's all of our business. It's what we pay for our season tickets for, which I'm going to discuss in just a bit, by the way. It's what we pay our Sky subscription for, and so on and so forth. Why we buy the latest West Ham kit, and so on. I do wonder if Jese Lingard perhaps wants to come to West Ham, but it's not a case of him wanting to know West Ham's ambition in terms of buying players. It might come down to something as simple as, is Declan staying? Because you'd have to say Declan's the star man at the moment. I think probably closely followed by Souček, who obviously the Czech Republic did really well in the Euros as well, and his reputation is just continuing to rise, isn't it, really, and climb Souček's. But you'd suggest that Declan Rice is the star man. Now, he doesn't have to look at websites and look at social media and whatnot. Jese Lingard could just pick up the phone to Declan. And I do wonder if Jesse signing for us full-time permanently boils down to one simple factor. Is Declan going to be at West Ham or not? So as he phoned him up and said, are you staying? Are you staying? I'm going to sign if you stay. Are you staying or are you going? I just wonder if Declan just hasn't confirmed that yet. Maybe Declan doesn't know. Maybe he's thinking, well, hold on a second. Yeah, I possibly will. I don't think Declan Rice will kick up a stink. I think if Declan Rice stayed, he'd be in the shout for Hammer of the Year again, because I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think his attitude's absolutely spot on. But does he know if he's staying or not? So when Jesse phones him up and says, are you staying? He's probably there. I don't know. I bet they've spoken about it. And he may well have said, look, Chelsea are interested, in all honesty, but there's been nowhere near a bid. I don't know if I'm staying enough, and that might be enough for Lingard to say, well, hold on, I'm going to hold off a bit. I'll wait and see what you're doing before I commit myself. And this is just a really unhealthy thing for West Ham. The right thing to do for Lingard, the right thing to do for Declan Rice, the wrong, but it ain't good for West Ham at all. And it didn't surprise me in any way, shape or form when I saw let me see, it was actually on football on the app, and it had come from Caught Offside. It was another website called the Football Faithful. There's a load of websites which are running with this story, which are Chelsea considering alternatives to Haaland and Rice. And another headline, Chelsea considering cheaper alternatives to Declan Rice transfer. There's 3 or 4 of these articles here. Now, that's unsurprising to me. You'll know if you watch the videos, the last 2 or 3. I don't think that Chelsea got the money for Haaland and Rice at the prices quoted. So probably Declan is thinking, well, I just don't know if I'm going to move or not. Are Chelsea likely to bid 50 million for me? Yes. Are West Ham likely to accept 50 million? No. I just found it interesting. I've already done the subject of whether I think we should be pursuing Lingard. And as I said the other day, I think we should probably be playing hardball with Man United. And possibly even Jesse himself and saying, look, here's the offer. I don't think we've got to look at ourselves as too desperate in that. I think Lingard was sensational, and I think he should be our first choice central attacking midfielder. But he's not the only show in town. I would like to also point out that we were in 4th when Lingard joined. I thought he was sensational when he came in. His form tailed off a little bit at the end. I'd like him. He's the number 1 choice. Has to be. We know he fits and he settles in. But there are other players to sign. Just moving on ever so quickly as well. I want to talk. There's a defender from Barcelona who's fantastic, and we've been linked with him. And this surely is almost too good to be true. Before we do that, I just want to talk about the season ticket situation. Please bear with me. I'll try not to bore you. Look, season tickets traditionally have been on something like your credit card. Before that, they were paper, right? You know what happens. You walk in, you stick the ticket in the turnstile, the thing beeps green, and you walk through. That's it. Job done. As is happening more and more, not just with things like season tickets, but things like Google Pay and Apple Pay and you go on the tube system, you tap your phone does it. And football clubs are trying to move to this model overall. But I don't think you don't need to do away with the hard copy. You don't need to do away with the bit of plastic or the bit of paper, because that's just what some people are used to. Anybody who's watched any of my videos when I'm doing a live stream will know I'm not the best with technology. YouTube have only got to change the slightest thing, move a button from there to there, do anything, or StreamYard, or any of these programs, it's software that we use to broadcast Hammers Chat videos. If I've got to move it slightly, it throws me. It really throws me. I don't know what I'm doing. It leaves me in a state of confusion. And there's a lot of people like me who sort of struggle with technology. So the idea is that you get your season ticket on a QR code. That's a QR code, right? There. Do you see it? Where is it? There. That's a QR code. We see them everywhere. Now, you get that emailed to you. And then what happens is you either print it off or you just have it on your phone. You take your phone in and you walk in. Fine. Happy days. Well, not for everybody, because not everybody can even open a PDF on their phone. Not everybody is going to be able. Not everyone's got a printer if you want to print it. Sometimes you just need to send people out hard copies of things in the post. And I think Manchester United and Liverpool, what they've done already is they have a solution. So they're printing out a QR code for season ticket holders. They'll send it to you. It's yours. It makes it easier if you want to pass on your ticket to a friend or something like that. You can do that virtually, or if you want to. So if you can't attend and you want to almost sell your ticket back to the club, it allows them to do whatever they do. But also they're going to issue hard copies for people that just struggle with technology and just are not happy with everything being on their phone. I mean, also, it's that if your phone's not working, I mean, that happens, right? Yeah, I had this the other day. I was using this sat-nav to get to somebody, weren't even far. And I thought about it. I thought, you know what, 20 years ago, I'd known the way. 20 years ago, I'd have had an A to Z in my motor, and I don't. And actually, the sat-nav on the Google Maps, or whatever it was, just stopped working. I knew where I was, but I didn't know where I needed to get to. And as a consequence, I was an hour and a half late. My point is, the technology just sometimes fails, and it's actually pretty good to have a hard copy of something. Well, what West Ham have done is West Ham are considering issuing season tickets on a game-by-game basis. Now, what Manchester United and Liverpool have done, now you think if it's good enough for Liverpool, it's good enough for Man U, sure, it's got to be good enough for West Ham, is you get one QR code, for the season ticket. That's your season ticket. As I understand it, what West Ham are considering doing is issuing a fresh QR code for every game for season ticket holders. That means a fresh email coming to your phone every time. I don't know why this would happen. I think it's a really, really bad idea. Now, what I've got here, and it's not something I'm trying to sell. It's not even for sale. You can't even get it. This is metal, right? Len made it up for me. That's right. That's back to front. Len made that up for me. The idea being that this is your QR code, and he would take the QR code off of your off of your whatever. When the club issue you QR codes, he'll take one. He'll give you your own little personalised thing, put you in a Hammers shirt, and this is your season ticket. So any form of this QR code, be it on here, be it on the bit of paper that they issue you, be it on your phone, this is your QR code for the season. You pop it in, bing. I'm sure the turnstile doesn't make that noise. It lets you in. That's the idea. That's great. Doesn't even have to be on one of these. The club can issue them, as they always did. And I'm pretty sure if they just gave the option, do you want a hard copy of your season ticket, or would you be happy just to take a paperless version? I'm pretty sure over half the people would say, you know what, I'll take a paperless version. I'll take it on my phone, because there are a lot of people happy with their phones. But I do think you've got to give people the option. You've got to give people that are struggling the option of a hard copy. And what you can't do is I don't want a fresh season ticket for every game. I think it just makes no sense. And what it does is you're going to have massive queues at the turnstiles when these things don't work, and when invariably people get to the turnstile with their phone. Oh, hold on. Oh no, that's not this game. That's a Southampton game. No wonder it's not pinging. They're going to have. I just think it's a bad idea. There'll be more staff, there'll be more everything. Anyway, that's what I think about that. I hope they've not made a decision yet, West Ham, and I hope they choose a sensible route, and the route of Manchester United and Liverpool. That would be the sensible thing to do. Just quickly back on to transfers there. The guy's name's Clément Lenglet. French. This guy's mustard. I mean, it's French mustard, not English mustard. This guy is mustard. He really is. He's sensational. And apparently, and it's not just us that have leaked it. Look, David Moyes can try and stop all the leaks he wants. He can, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. But you can only do so much if the other side wants to leak the information. That's it. And one of this is coming from a couple of Spanish sources as well. That Everton and West Ham are interested in signing Barcelona defender Clément Lenglet, 26 years of age. Really, really good player. Fast, skillful, strong, just has absolutely everything. Every so often we're linked to a player that I know of and not I've heard of. And he's one of them. Really good. I would absolutely love this to be true. I really would. And we've been linked again with Diego Simeone's son, whose name escapes me. Well, not his surname, clearly, because it's Simeone. And Yarmolenko. Sometimes no smoke without fire, Fenerbahce again. I don't necessarily believe the Burnley link. Yarmolenko to Burnley. I don't know if you heard that. Again, I'm assuming you've seen social media. I apologise. I don't check social media very often at all. Yarmolenko to Burnley was the one. It was doing the rounds for the last couple of days. Can't see it. Just can't see Sean Dyche and whatnot. And certainly not as a winger. Maybe as a centre forward coming on late for Chris Wood or something like that. Quite possibly, but I didn't think so. The Fenerbahce rumour, that sort of does make sense, because I still think he can be a superstar somewhere, but he has to be. He's got to be the main man, isn't he? You know, he's got to be starting as the centre forward for a club that just rates him highly. You know, he's never going to be the main man at West Ham. We've already discussed, that he's not even going to get a start. Might be a regular starter at West Ham. I just wonder if he goes to a club. I think that as long as he can stay fit-ish, he's never going to play every game all season. But he can go to a club and they start him as a centre forward, and he plays 20 games, 25 games for a club over a season. Going to have a wonderful signing. Really, really good one. Anyway, that's not about it today. There are so much. I'll be back discussing. There's loads of them. Honestly, I'm scrolling down. We are being linked with loads and loads of players. I do like this Lenglet one though. I like it.